are live.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is Wednesday, December 8th, and this is the virtual meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners. We are being recorded and we are being broadcast live on YouTube. And if you wish to make a comment under constituent comments, there is a link on the agenda where you can either submit information by Smartsheet or click on a link to be a part of this group, and you'll be allowed the opportunity to comment to the Board of Commissioners when that appears on the agenda. With that, I will call the meeting to order. Next item on the agenda is to establish a quorum. We have all three commissioners present, which is a quorum. Next item, as is the tradition at our first meeting of each month, and I will note that this is the second Wednesday of December, but we did not have a meeting on December 1st as we held our regular meeting on Tuesday, November 30th. So this is the first meeting in the month of December, and as is the tradition, we recognize employees on 5-year anniversaries of their service to the county and our people, and also recognize the new hires that have joined our team in the last month. And with that, I will recognize the three employees that represent some 30 years of service. These individuals will get a signed certificate and a lapel button. And as I've noted, those certificates are signed by each of us. There's no digital additions of our signatures on those certificates. So with that introduction, if these people are in attendance, I would encourage them to turn their camera on and wave. And again, we appreciate their service to the county and our people. So first recognize Tawny Ferguson in the Health and Human Services Department for 5 years. Also Carrie Hayes in the Health and Human Services Department for 10 years. And last but not least, Suzanne or Susie O'Toole, who's in our parole and probation department, and she has been with us for 15 years. So again, our thanks to those individuals. We appreciate their dedication and commitment to the county and our efforts. With that, is a representative from there's Jaylene Cook. Hi, Jaylene. Please introduce the new hires. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair Hunt. So we have a list here for us to go through. Marie Laper joined us as the Behavioral Health Deputy Director for Health and Human Services. Rosario Medina is a Clinical Counselor for Child and Family for Health and Human Services. Natalie Olson is a Support Services Specialist in the Sheriff's Office. Madison Sash is an Animal Care Office Specialist in the Sheriff's Office. Mickey Bemis is an on-call transit driver for the Transit Department. Janelle Delanghe is a Support Services Behavioral Health Assistant in Health and Human Services. Jennifer Gonsalves is a Restitution Clerk for the District Attorney's Office. Daniel Driver is a Food Service Manager for the Sheriff's Office. And Caroline Caraveridian is a Veteran Service Coordinator in Veteran Services.
All right, thank you, Jaylene. Welcome to those new employees. And as I always say, please come and see us prior to your 5-year anniversary. We are happy to meet with you and appreciate your willingness to come to work for the county. And again, thank you all. We'll move on. Next item is the adoption of our consent calendar. These are items of a routine nature or items that have come before the board previously. At this time, if a commissioner or a staff member wish to highlight an item, they may do so. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion to adopt the consent calendar as presented.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt the consent calendar as presented.
I will second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Thank you. We'll now move on. Next item in our agenda, we're moving on to reports. We will have a report from I'm sorry, I've got an older version of the agenda in front of me, so apologize for the confusion. We'll now hear from our Public Health Director. I believe that has been made permanent. Welcome, Florence, and give us a COVID vaccination update.
Good morning, commissioners. Yes, finally dropped the interim title. This is good.
Welcome officially.
Well, thank you so much. So glad to be working with Lincoln County. Okay, the highlights this week. While we're statewide seeing a slight increase in cases, but it's kind of not. It's kind of strange. It went up for a few days and then completely down, and then it's back up a little bit again. So in Lincoln County, we actually haven't seen an increase quite yet. We're actually decreasing at this time. Our daily average is around 10 for the past 7 days from 15 last week. Come back.
Casey, you're going too quickly.
Yeah, I'm not following Casey. The mouse is going fast. So obviously, Omicron is on our minds. So I can give you the information we got from the state health officer on Friday. And we can also discuss the latest data that just came out, I think this morning or yesterday. So at this time, there's still no Omicron reported in Oregon. The really great thing is, I don't know if you remember the testing that Oregon State University has been doing on wastewater. Starting this week, they are going to incorporate genotyping for Omicron from those samples. So this is really good. What we were told is that based on initial data, it is possible that Omicron is 2 to 3 times more transmissible than Delta, which is a little bit concerning because Delta was already very, very transmissible. What it seems to be looking like from a distance is that the severity of the disease is not as bad as previous variants, but it's still really early on, and there needs to be a little bit more data around this. Now, the other piece that is that just came out is that it seems that Omicron is good at breaking through the vaccines, especially if you only had your primary series. So it is really recommended that now that everybody 18 and older is eligible for a booster, that people go ahead and get their boosters, because the waning immunity from the primary series doesn't seem to be holding well at all against this Omicron variant. So this is what we have for now about this variant. A lot of us, I'm going to include myself, I had plans to travel over the Christmas break. And so I would say, boost if you are planning to do that, get your booster shot, make sure that you wear your mask properly, wash your hands, practice distancing. I would say it's very much, and pay attention to your symptoms. And then if you have COVID-like symptoms, go get tested. I think is very much what we want to recommend. Same message, hasn't changed. So like I mentioned, anybody 18 and older in Oregon is eligible for a booster dose. Our fairground clinics have been a little busier. Like I think we broke almost 300 last Friday, which is good. So we're holding one clinic this week, and our last clinic will be next Friday on the 17th. And then, as discussed last week, we're gonna go back to our outreach and mobile clinic schedule, but with this time a set schedule. And we're also working on making sure that we will have testing capability available as well during those clinics. Casey, you can scroll down if you would like. So hospitalization levels are still at pretty good levels compared to where we went in September.
And pardon me, Flo, just tell me where you want me to go.
Okay, go to maybe 7.
Okay.
Okay, so this is kind of where we are at this time, case-wise. So this is total as of Monday. So 56 cases for December at this time, 55 deaths. Interestingly, you know, I was telling you that we're all over the place. Last week, our test positivity was over 11%. We're now at 4%. We were over 200 new cases per 100,000. We're now at 147. So, and like I mentioned, we were at about 15 cases per day and on average, and now we're about 10 cases per day. But it really depends on the day. So, you know, our team is cross-training just to make sure that if we have a surge, we have enough people to handle those cases. You can go to the next slide. So as you can see, we're plateauing around 72 cases a week. Next slide. You might want to go to the clinic. So it's one of the last slides.
Okay.
Like I think the slide number 12.
Okay, stand by.
No, the next one, the one before, sorry.
Number 11.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is what we have planned for the rest of the month in terms of vaccination clinics. Obviously, what's not in there is the clinic at Samaritan. I think they are this Saturday, and they're doing adults and kiddos. So, so that's another option. And then the team is going to break for a little bit over the holidays, finalize trainings, organize for the new schedule in 2022. One thing that I haven't mentioned is that we're collaborating with Signature Health to provide booster vaccinations to folks who are homebound. So this is happening next week. Yeah, this is what we have at this time.
Questions or comments from commissioners?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Hall.
So Florence, we didn't see the post-Thanksgiving bounce, at least not yet. I guess, can we credit this? You know, I know it's impossible to pin down for certain, but the fact that we've got 80% of our population vaccinated, I would think has to have something to do with it.
Yeah, I think it does, Commissioner Hall. And I would also say that I had heard anecdotes of people, you know, getting tested before gathering with their family members and friends. And, you know, when people vaccinate and practice all those extra barriers that we've been talking about for about 2 years now, we are likely to see a reduction in transmission of the disease. So, but vaccination is likely playing a very large role into this, hopefully, no Thanksgiving surge.
Yeah, I just want to add to Florence's point that the availability of testing I think has just helped greatly. I was just talking to someone this morning about, remembering how difficult it was in the beginning of COVID to find testing, and you had to be symptomatic, and just because there wasn't the test available. But now it's super nice that you can just go to a pharmacy and get an over-the-counter test, or go to the drive-up clinic, or whatever the case may be. I think that vaccines have made a huge difference. I think people being able to test easily has helped too, and hopefully people will continue to do that as we go into the holidays.
And I would only add that certainly the trend we're seeing post-Thanksgiving is favorable. I would encourage people, that doesn't mean we're out of the woods by any means. We need to continue the vigilance that we've had over the last several months, particularly through the Christmas season, when holiday seasons all the way into the new year, when there'll be much more activities, opportunities for social interaction. And we certainly want to continue to do what we've been doing to keep this virus contained and avoid a surge, which was terribly disruptive, frankly, in September. So good news. Let's hope these trends continue, certainly for the next month or so and beyond, for that matter. Anything else from the commissioners or director or Portel?
Nothing from me, no.
All right. Thank you. Take care, and we'll look forward to continued favorable news.
Excellent.
All right. Next on the agenda is reports from commissioners. Who would like to go first?
I don't have anything to share today.
All right. Commissioner Jacobson, anything from you?
I have nothing to share from me either. Thank you.
Well, I will make a personal note and wish my wife happy birthday tomorrow. So with that, we'll move on in the agenda. This is an opportunity now for public comment, and Commissioner, Public Information Officer Miller, do we have anybody online that wishes to address the board?
Chair, I believe we do. I see Jamie Michelle here. We also have Quentin Smith joining us, but I believe he's here as a media entity for executive session. So let's unmute Jamie Michelle. I've got my timer here as well. So Jamie, you should see that.
And your timer is for 3 minutes, just for the record.
Hi.
Hey,
Good morning.
welcome.
Good morning. I have nothing to say this week. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Have you confirmed that Mr. Smith is here for the executive session, Casey?
Quentin, do we have that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to the written public input that we've received in the last week.
Yeah, stand by. And as I navigate to that, I don't know if you noticed, but I did find a way to disable the chat function. So we no longer have that as even a function. So I was able to reach into Google and figure that out. Thank you, Google. Okay.
Did you get your arm back after you reached into Google?
Yeah, right. Thankfully, yes. So let's go ahead and look at our smart sheet. And we really, we don't have any written input this week. Sorry, I'm a little lost here. So stand by. So you won't see any on the commissioner's page because we just simply don't have any written input. And I don't know why I lost the smart sheet, so I apologize for that, but stand by and I will show you. Here it is. The other comments we received were put into the special session input. So you'll find since the last meeting, the input for that meeting is on that page. So that would be it.
All right. thank you. But for the record, that is the public input we have received through, I guess, today. So
May I make a comment, Chair Hunt?
you may.
I just wanted to take a second to recognize Casey and all of his hard work during the last year and a half to take written comment, create systems for written comment, making sure that we were able eventually to incorporate, live comment into our meetings and navigating through all the Google stuff with that. And, and really, I think he keeps our meetings flowing very nicely and orderly. And I know that that's difficult to do. That's because of his skills and dedication to it. That online meetings can go bad very quickly. I'm sure we've all been in those, right? So yeah. I just want to take a minute and say thank you to Casey for really, helping us make that difficult transition so long ago, but then also just continually improving our processes for this. So thank you, Casey.
You bet. My pleasure.
Yes, keep up the good work, Mr. Miller. It is appreciated and recognized. So thank you. All right, we will move on. We will be recessing into an executive session. And correct me, Council Ewell, we will not be coming into public session.
That's correct, Chair Hunt.
Okay, so we will be recessing into executive session under ORS 192.660, parentheses 2, parentheses A, to discuss litigation. And again, we will not be coming back into public session. We will be having a workshop this afternoon at 3 p.m. where a quorum of commissioners will be present to discuss the American Recovery Plan Act and dollars that are available to the county and how we should appropriate them. Our next meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners will be virtual on Wednesday, December 15th at 10 a.m. And for the record, we will not be having a meeting on Wednesday, December 22nd, but we will have our final meeting of the year on Wednesday, December 29th at 10 a.m. And that will be virtual, as will all the meetings that we're having between now and the end of the year. So with that, if there's no more business to come before the board, we are recessed, and we are recessing into executive session under ORS 192.660, parentheses 2, parentheses A, to discuss litigation. We are in recess. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to do a few things here behind the scenes, making sure we get our live stream stopped. So stand by. Okay. All right.
Are we still live on YouTube?
No, we're not live on YouTube anymore.
It shows it on my screen. That's why I asked.
Okay, stand by. Let me double check that.
Oh, I was going to say, otherwise we could all just log back in if you'd like us to, Casey.
I'm double checking a second computer, and I think Chair might be right. All right, stand by as I try to figure this out.
Would it be easier if we just all logged off and logged back on?